ass because I sat up there and said, hey, how you going to ignore Caitlin Clark? You know what she brings to the table. How you just going to ignore her? That's not an accident. Sheryl Swoopes is a champion. A champion. Look at her tweet and what she put up about me. You talk about whomever and whatever you want to on your podcast, correct? So why can't I? Also, did you listen to the entire episode? Nope. I have a personal relationship with these players and they deserve recognition as well. That ain't the point, Sheryl Swoopes. Yes, I did listen to your entire podcast. You didn't mention Caitlin Clark. So I was right.
From hitting jaw-dropping three-pointers to making history in the LPGA, Caitlin Clark continues to amaze the world. Though Sheryl Swoopes seems to always have something to say. However, with Caitlin's record-breaking LPGA achievement, even Sheryl might be left rethinking her words and perhaps feeling a touch emotional.
You know, I've known Sheryl since she was in college. I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first SBs. I've known Sheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her. I called her when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed, that, you know, there was this quote by Sheryl that said, you know, Caitlin was, 25 years old. She was, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. Right. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were illegitimate. And I got off the treadmill and I called her as a friend. And I said, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right.
Caitlin Clark has done it again. After dominating on the basketball court, she's now dominating headlines as the first dual-sport athlete to secure a record-breaking LPGA deal worth millions. Golf courses around the globe are buzzing with excitement, fans are celebrating, and sponsors are lining up. But not everyone is thrilled. Sheryl Swoopes, WNBA legend turned outspoken critic, is once again leading the anti-Caitlin Clark commentary. This time, her criticism has reached new levels of pettiness. Sheryl has built a reputation for tearing others down, with Caitlin as a frequent target. She's called her overrated, lucky, and even questioned her place in the WNBA. But Caitlin isn't just silencing critics on the court. She's doing it in entirely new arenas. Sheryl once claimed Caitlin couldn't handle the WNBA. Now, Caitlin is not only proving her wrong but doing so with million-dollar partnerships that redefine what success looks like in women's sports. This historic LPGA deal isn't just a career milestone, it's a direct rebuttal to every doubter. To put it into perspective, Caitlin's deal reportedly surpasses Sheryl's entire WNBA career earnings. That's a game-changing moment. Sources say Sheryl was stunned and emotional upon hearing the news, and honestly, it's understandable. Imagine spending years doubting someone only to see them achieve success at levels once thought unattainable. Caitlin Clark is rewriting the narrative for women in sports, setting a new standard for excellence, and proving that hard work and talent can transcend boundaries. Caitlin Clark just made history, and Sheryl Swoopes made means talk about legacy building. Fans aren't holding back either. Social media is flooded with support for Caitlin and, well, not so many words for Sheryl. One fan tweeted, "Sheryl Swoopes is the definition of bitter. Caitlin Clark stays winning." Another wrote, "Imagine hating someone so much they turn it into fuel for greatness." Thanks for the assist.
A redirected pass, Clark from Schenectady. Wheels evades Van Lith, and
Caitlin Clark isn't just breaking records. She's breaking barriers and redefining what it means to be an athlete. Meanwhile, Sheryl Swoopes seems more focused on criticism than celebration. Here's the reality. While Sheryl is busy hating, Caitlin is busy making history. A record-breaking LPGA deal is a milestone, yet Sheryl's negativity overshadows any chance for support. The bigger question remains. Why can Sheryl praise Angel Reese but struggle to celebrate Caitlin? Whatever the reason, Caitlin's focus is clear. She's leading a new era in sports, applause or not. Caitlin Clark has transitioned from WNBA sensation to dual sport legend, securing a record-breaking LPGA deal that solidifies her place among the greatest athletes of our time. Fans are thrilled, the media is buzzing, and sponsors are lining up to be part of her historic journey. Yet, while the world celebrates, one voice stands in opposition: Sheryl Swoopes. Instead of applauding this groundbreaking achievement, Sheryl continues to downplay Caitlin's success. What's even more striking is how readily Sheryl praises athletes like Angel Reese, but withholds the same recognition and support for Caitlin. This contrast raises questions about fairness and bias, but Caitlin remains undeterred, focused on her game and her legacy, proving that greatness speaks for itself.
Shouldn't be playing that hard against Caitlin. What?
They ain't never played.
No, let me finish.
No, not that part.
But let me finish. Because that has been said.
Yeah.
They should be grateful. They should be thankful. They shouldn't go hard against her. Bullshit.
Yes. Yeah.
Because my question is that what y'all do? When, not you, I'm just saying, when a rookie, or even if it's a player from overseas, whoever, when they come into the league and you're looking at them like, oh, well, that's a rookie, so let him or her just do what they want to do because they're...
Angel Reese is a phenomenal athlete, and Sheryl Swoopes has consistently supported her, whether it's for Reese's confidence or celebrations. But when Caitlin Clark shows the same competitive fire, it's met with criticism. This isn't just a double standard, it's a contradiction. Both athletes play with passion and swagger, so why the difference in treatment? The answer goes beyond sportsmanship. It's about bias.
Ball to her, and that's exactly what she did. I mean, she started off hot, stayed hot throughout the entire game, but I think she also took pressure off of her when she was able to find her teammates in transition, get them the ball, and that means that opened up the game for her, especially in transition.
Yeah, more live pictures here. She is still signing autographs. We've seen images like this really throughout the course of her entire career. At the end of games, there are so many fans just lining.
Sheryl Swoopes has spoken out about race in sports, which is important and necessary. However, when Caitlin Clark steps into the spotlight, breaking records and defying expectations, Sheryl doesn't see an ally or a trailblazer. She sees competition. Instead of celebrating Caitlin's success as a win for women's sports, Sheryl seems to turn it into an opportunity to divide. This highlights a glaring double standard. Sheryl appears to believe that uplifting Angel Reese requires tearing down Caitlin Clark, but greatness isn't a zero-sum game. Supporting one athlete doesn't mean diminishing another. Both can thrive.
Your relationship, what that got to do with your coverage? Ain't nobody said don't mention them. Ain't nobody said don't applaud them. Nobody told you to ignore them. What we're saying is if you're going to give the Indiana Fever all the credit in the world, how you going to mention the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark's name even coming up? So then after that, Sheryl Swoopes engages in levels of immaturity. There's no way to slice it. I'm not going to insult this champion, this great basketball mind, this phenomenally accomplished Hall of Famer. I'm not going to insult her. All I'm going to say is it was pretty damn immature to come back at me like that. Called me an effing coward because I called you out for not doing your job. So you on a podcast, that means you don't have to do your job? I mean, the bottom line is this: she engaged in a level of immaturity.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Sheryl Swoopes' animosity toward Caitlin Clark appears to be rooted in racial bias. While Sheryl celebrates Angel Reese as a representation of the culture, she paints Caitlin as an outsider, someone who doesn't belong in the conversation. But here's the truth. Caitlin Clark's achievements are just as pivotal to the growth of women's sports. Dismissing her feels less like constructive criticism and more like exclusion. Fans are noticing the disparity too. One tweet reads, "Why does Sheryl Swoopes praise Angel Reese for trash talk but call Caitlin Clark cocky? That hypocrisy is unreal." Another says, "Sheryl Swoopes needs to stop gatekeeping greatness. Caitlin Clark deserves just as much respect."
The all-time leader in women's college basketball.
Clark has been making people pay her freshman year in Iowa City.
Clark, there she goes again.
Have to guard Caitlin Clark across his half court. About 26 feet, she's going to her left, and in rhythm, she's...
You know, you have little kids that are looking up to you, boys and girls, and you taking the moment just to recognize them, I mean, it puts them in a special place. That's a moment they'll remember forever. They came to an Iowa game, Caitlin broke a record, they got a poster sign, even their cast sign, a jersey sign. I mean, there's not much you can ask for, especially as a little child who's looking forward to having a future as bright as Caitlin.
How about Nike with the t-shirts, you break it, you own it. I love it.
Absolutely. I mean, they knew they had it it all made. Everyone on the team has it. It looks awesome.
You can hear everybody screaming for her.
Always show up. It's just an exciting moment, honestly, all around. Like, she's just taking the moment, even after a big night for her like this. She is reaching for everyone. T-shirts, posters.
I imagine you just feel like you want to give so much back to a fan base that's given so much to you.
That's the best feeling, especially as a player. Because, they don't have to come out and show up each and every game. Even when there was...
Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires. Oh! She hit it! Oh!
McNeil trying to get around, runs into Sonato, and off balance, going to the right. If everyone knows whose hands it's supposed to be in, magic happens, and we've seen it a lot with Caitlin Clark.
And a legendary career adds another page. Legendary career adds another page in the
She gets 10, and it's money. She's open. Caitlin Clark. Clark.
The deep throw with Steph Range out there.
A deep one.
In the sport. Caitlin Clark, what'd I tell y'all? Now I understand there's a whole bunch of people that's balling. How about Custom Mitchell, a teammate, who is just flat out balling? You see what the Ace is doing, right? See, Kelsey, you just see this. Plum and the rest of the crew in Las Vegas can't ignore them. I'm looking at the New York Liberty. I'm looking at the Minnesota Lynx. I'm looking at the Connecticut Sun. I'm looking at Seattle. I'm looking at all of these teams. But they ain't the story. Look, we appreciate what they bring to the table, and we appreciate their greatness, and we appreciate what they're giving the fans. But we just have to understand that when a transformational figure enters the fray, you got to pause and then isolate and compartmentalize and give them the love that they're due. And in this case, it